This ceremony is nearly over, but before we conclude, we have a tradition of providing a charge to all new graduates. First, graduates, welcome to the Antioch alumni community. You are automatically life members. We are strengthened by your addition to our community. As Antioch graduates, you are part of a long tradition, and I want to take a moment to recount part of that story and to connect it to the present. Antioch College was established in Ohio in 1852. This was a particularly challenging period in our nation's history, and though it may seem long ago, there is much that might seem familiar. Our country had been deeply divided for decades. Political institutions had become polarized and entrenched in sectionalism. The cruelty and hate associated with slavery permeated public discourse and action. Violence and intimidation fed domestic terrorism in places like Bleeding, Kansas. Even the floor of the Senate was the scene of an attack on a prominent senator by a congressional colleague wielding a walking cane as a weapon. It was in such a time that Horace Mann established Antioch College as its founding president. Mann was already a prominent abolitionist and leader of the movement to establish public education. Mann believed a democratic society required broad, active engagement of an educated citizenry, not domination of a privileged few. From the very beginning, the college enrolled black and white students who studied together, taught by both male and female professors. This was the context when Mann delivered his famous challenge to students in his final commencement address in 1859. He implored them to win some victory for humanity. Generations of Antiochians have heeded that call to serve, working for social justice and the common good. Mann's compelling vision retains its power, in part because a great deal of work remains to create a more equitable, prosperous society that works for all, and in which the citizens actively support a vital democracy. In recent times, we've seen the scourge of hate and racism amplified by social media and gun violence. The pandemic has laid bare deep structural and societal challenges and inequities from our nation's inception, and now climate change cannot be dismissed simply as weather. Over 50 years after Mann's invocation, John Dewey, American philosopher and educational reformer, like Mann, wrote, "Democracy must be reborn in each generation, and education is its midwife." This statement helps frame the import of the work ahead and also underscores Mann's vision of education's central role in promoting democratic ideals and the societal conditions that maintain democratic institutions. Whatever your path, whether as a teacher, a therapist, a manager, a writer, a community activist, or something altogether different, I know you will find your authentic way to address the injustice and inequities that diminish us individually and divide us from each other. I ask that you continue to hone your critical systemic thinking skills, to deepen your capacity for compassion and connection with others, and to be an active and conscious agent of change in all you do. This is a lot to take onto your shoulders, and please know you are not alone in this work. Together, we can create a community, society, and world that works for all. I look forward to joining you in this important endeavor. Thank you all for participating in Antioch University Los Angeles' 2022 virtual commencement ceremony. If you wish to stay on for a few more minutes, you will be able to enjoy the slideshow of personal images that were submitted by graduates. Congratulations, class of 2022.